Hey, it's Tom Mitchell. This is another episode of hashtag Meditation Life. I'd just like to share a few tips for somebody starting out in a meditation practice that I wish somebody had shared with me when I first began. And by the way, I'm not trying to sell you on meditation. I'm not trying to convince the whole world that they need to meditate. Do I think that would be a wonderful thing? Well, yeah, I do think it would be a nice thing if the whole world meditated, but I'm not trying to push that on anybody. Think of me as like you're at a dinner party and I'm a server walking around with a tray of hors d'oeuvres. I've got maybe some crab cakes. If you want one of the crab cakes, great. If you don't, there's a guy behind me with shrimp, bacon wrapped around it. Maybe you want that. Either way, I'm not trying to force anything on you. So one of the pitfalls of beginning meditation is that a lot of people think erroneously that it's about stopping thoughts, and it's not. I sat there at the beginning too, so if you were like me, don't feel bad. You're not alone. Thinking, there's no way I can meditate. I can't stop all these thoughts. They keep on coming. I give up. What we're doing here is, and it would be nice if there was like a little on-off switch for our brain somewhere where shut off thoughts. Probably why we end up, a lot of us, turning to alcohol and drugs because we want the mind to be quiet. Unfortunately, there is no on and off switch, but with meditation, we can learn how not to focus on those thoughts, and instead, we focus on our breath. Why the breath? Well, there's a lot of reasons for that. I'll just simplify by saying it puts the left and the right brain in sync so that they're communicating with each other, focusing on the breath. So each time we realize we're kind of lost in a thought train, we gently come back to the breath. And I say gently because it's not like you need, oh, I'm lost in thought again. No, it's like, oh, there I go again thinking, and then come back to the breath. The easiest tool to do for this is to count your breaths. Every time you exhale, you count. And when you get up to 10 exhales, you start over again and you count another 10 exhales. Very simple tool. And that, if you did that from now until you died, and that was your only meditation practice, you would go as far as a yogi that was meditating in the Himalayas. So in other words, there's nothing wrong with counting. Eventually, you may want to let it go, but at the beginning, counting breaths is your friend. And yes, it's full-on meditation when you're doing that. So we know that there's no way to stop thoughts. We just choose to focus on our breath instead. The other thing that I would like to tell you is that at the beginning, sometimes people go for too long, okay? And that's a mistake because that'll just discourage you. At the beginning, how long should you meditate? You want to do 5 minutes? Great. That's a wonderful starting point. So is 2 minutes. There is nothing wrong with starting your meditation practice at 2 minutes. In fact, if you haven't meditated in a long time, I recommend that you start at something small like 2 minutes. Do 2 minutes every day for a week, and then up from there. But again, you wouldn't go to a gym and just automatically start putting tons of 45-pound weights on each side of a barbell and then try to bench that. No, you want to start slowly. Start start gently. Be easy on yourself. It's all about giving yourself compassion. And that's what we learn to do in meditation. We learn not to let it control our mind. The mind's always telling us to do something. Your mind is saying, check Facebook, check text messages. You got to turn on that Netflix and watch the rest of that series. And you got to do it now. And that's the mind's job, to make everything sound like it's urgent and it needs to be done at this second. But when we can sit down and go get past our mind telling us to stand up and go do things, then we get the control back. We take the control away from the mind. And it's transformative. I don't think it's an overestimate to call meditation a superpower. So again, count your breaths, keep the meditation time short at the beginning, and stay consistent with it. I hope something that I said here was helpful. Again, it's like somebody at a dinner party serving crab cakes. If you didn't want the crab cakes, no big deal. I'm still glad you stopped by. Have a great night, have a great day, whatever time it may be for you. And I'll talk to you next time on hashtag Meditation Life.